All right, sorry for the delay. Yeah, able to thought of the ideas now. Okay, so this is how it will work. Okay, so basically first they choose the goal. No, let's say no. So the question is, if they are able to become very good in so let's say they are in the entertainment industry. Okay, then it can be in the movies, theatrical, singing, culture, anime. Okay, so Faith, you have to write that down. Okay, for example, so so what would they want to achieve? Okay, so maybe we can give them this five on what they want to achieve. Okay, is for fame, for money, for to influence someone, so they can be happy doing what they like. Okay, so they can be very good at it. Okay, so they will choose one from the first question. Okay, so the second question is how are they able to achieve this goal? Like they want to become very rich. Okay, so how they can achieve this goal? Okay, so like if they choose money as what they want to achieve, okay, so the next question is how they can achieve. Okay, so maybe from sponsors. Okay, let's say the person choose they want to be rich. Okay, so they can be from sponsors. Okay, from sold out tickets. Okay, so from sold out concerts. Okay, shows. Okay, sold out shows. So Faith got to give maybe one or two more. Okay, and then most importantly is no, if maybe it's not from one of the choice. Okay, so they can have a chance to put on their own. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so they can write down on their own. All right. So this is for the second question. So like for example, fame. Okay, fame can be good looking, from getting from what the audience would want. Okay, be able to have what the crowd will want. Okay, like for example, some will want okay to be very sexy. Okay, so you can be what they want. Okay, so be very clear. Okay, so be in short words. Okay, Faith, be in short words. So this because this will influence the next activity. Okay, so like happy with what you like. Um, so I think Faith, you got to really help me to think of this. Okay, how they can achieve this? Like naturally gifted in this. Personal liking in these achievements in this thing, or something like that. Just put something. Okay, so okay, some of them they need to elaborate. Okay, so like for example, okay, being very good at it. Okay, so you have the talents. You will practice more. So maybe the second point is practice more. Okay, so like for example, you want to influence. Okay, so okay, so you want them to write down what they want to influence. Okay, yeah, so you want them to write down what they have influence. Okay, maybe influence, for example, um uh heal the world, save the animals, be kind to animals. We should be recycling, we should be green. So they want to write down what they want to influence. Okay, so some of the things you need to write down. So Faith, you have to really, really make sure that you understand this, and then write most of the points that is relevant. Okay, Faith, I'm really busy now, so I'm really counting on you to make sure that it is right. Okay, so I've given you enough example, Faith. So this is really, really counting on you. Emna, please help Faith. Okay, so Faith, so once you are done, please send to Emna, see if Emna has any input. Okay, so to discuss. Okay, so let's say if you disagree, so please feel free to be to discuss. What you think this should be. Okay, speaking in the group chat. So if there's anything, just call me, and then I will say, yeah, actually I prefer this idea, and I think this idea is right, so that we can be more narrow to what it is actually correct. Okay, so okay, so like influence, some of the things you want to write down, what you want to influence. All right, so each of them have a few examples how they what can achieve this goal. All right, so okay, so this is how they want to achieve this goal. Okay, Okay, so next one, okay, so next one, let's talk about this first. Okay, so what happens is along the way, they are going to, okay, so Emma, this one is going to have you very heavily. Okay, so if they are going to choose one of them, okay, so they're going to choose one of them. So fame, for example, it can be, okay, so what happens is they will be getting, for every choice, let's say they choose fame, okay, so they will be getting a figurine like a person, okay, maybe it can be a bit chibi or maybe a bit real. So Faith, sorry, Emna, I can count on you on this. Okay, so they will be able to get a bit of like cut out okay, so maybe a bit. This is too cartoon. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay, so most importantly is they it needs to be yeah, it doesn't have to be standing. Okay, so yeah, so some figurines. Okay, so something like that. No, this kind of figurines. Okay, so that they can cut. So what happens is don't have some basic clothings, okay, but they are going to design their own clothes. Okay, so maybe something like this but without the flowers inside. Okay, so we need five guys and five female. Okay, so we need them to have five male and five female. Okay, so some figurines. Okay, so some figurines. Okay, so like for example fame, so it could be a K-pop style. Okay, so um okay, so some pop star for fame. Okay, so for money. Okay, so Faith, previously what we have is like shared, we'll have K-pop, classical, and then we have K-pop, classical, J-pop, English songs, that's the kind. So now what happens is Anna and Faith, now all these five needs to be on stage performing kind. Okay, so maybe fame can be the dancer, maybe influencer, they can be the singer or something like that. Okay, so fame can be the dancer. Okay, so dancer you can have some dressing for dance. Okay, so influencer could be maybe someone holding on to the microphone. Okay, maybe, yeah, since you want to influence, right? So you will be like the singer like that. Okay, so for happy, okay, so maybe this person is very casual in their dressing, so you are happy with what you are. So I'm not so sure how to really do it yet. Okay, so yeah, Faith and Emma, if you have any ideas, please feel free to share. Okay, so yeah, so maybe influencer can be the one with the microphone. So fame can be the ones or maybe very good looking, that kind. Maybe money, maybe fame can be very extravaganza wearing. Yeah, so influencer can be the one with the mic. Happy go lucky, yeah, happy go lucky, so feel free to not necessarily everything to be like a very like a pop star. So maybe happy go lucky can be very happy with what you're doing, it can be very casual wear. Okay, very normal and casual wear. So maybe fame can be someone very extravaganza, so it is okay with that. Okay, so most importantly, but all of them has to be someone that is going to be up on stage. Okay, so money, it can be um money, maybe it can be have lots of instruments with it or something like that. Okay, then maybe a lot of fanciful gadgets or something. Yeah, see what ideas you can have. Yeah, so yeah, so far I can already think of two very good ones, like fame, someone very good. Okay, that influence, maybe I can have three. Okay, influence, we can have someone who is on the mic. So happy, it can be someone less dressed down. Uh, so good fame will be good looking and stylish. Okay, so influence will be someone with a mic. Happy go lucky, someone very simple dressing. Yeah, okay, so we have three. So the other two, please see Faith and now what you can think of. Very good at it. Um I don't know. Yeah, okay, so I'm not so sure about it. Okay, so they are going to have a figurine. Okay, so they are going to choose a figurine. So on this figurine, um, okay, so there must be somewhere, okay, to write down how they are going to achieve this goal. Okay, so like maybe the fame will choose uh good looking. Okay, so he will write the word good looking over here. So first of all, we ask them to write on a piece of paper, then we ask them to write down somewhere on the paper, but we don't want it to be on the clothes. Okay, it'll be so ugly. Maybe someone below or somewhere on top. Okay, so Emna, see what you can do. Okay, so this is the next step. Okay, good looking, how to achieve this goal. Yeah, so how to achieve, okay, we want them to write it down. So next, okay, so each of them is going to have a, okay, how about this? Okay, I got another idea. Okay, so instead of writing down, right, um no, okay, still write it down. Okay, write it down. Okay, so who messaged me? Okay, I think a WhatsApp message. Okay, so okay, right, still write it down. All right, so afterwards, depending on what they choose, okay, for the how to achieve this goal, we are going to give them different cutouts. Okay, so give them different cutouts. So we don't need to have a lot. Okay, so for example, maybe okay, we have different cutouts. So for example, if they choose good looking, okay, so they are going to have okay, so depending on what they write for how to achieve the goal, okay, like good looking is how they achieve the goal, have lots of sponsors is how they would achieve the goal. They are going to receive a stage set. Okay, they are going to receive a stage set. So how this stage set work is what is the stage set, like things you can find on stage. Okay, like maybe sponsors. Okay, so you can have some logos, okay, some logos like that, sponsors logo, or maybe good looking, you can have like spotlight, that can be found on stage. Okay, so anything. Okay, it can be something very wild, like happy to do what you like. If they choose certain choice, it can be something outrageous, okay, or different. So doesn't matter. So what happens is these props, right, Emna? Okay, so these props, it's just make it simple because I want them to design it. Okay, I want them to design it. So you just okay. So what happens is on a piece of paper. Okay, so we are going to cut it out. Okay, so we are going to cut it out. Just square it so that they can design other parts as well. Okay, or they can cut or they want to design, is all up to them. All right, so yeah, so based on what they choose, okay, they will get stage props. Okay, what they depends on what they choose on how they want to achieve this goal, they will get stage props. So I don't want too many stage props. Okay, maybe we can have only 12 stage props. Okay, so like some of the things can be combined, like maybe um very good at what you have, maybe good looking can be, maybe you have a spotlight. Okay, so maybe this spotlight can be used for here and here and here. Okay, so Faith, you want to have about 3 or 4 for each of the how to achieve this goal, you want to have 3 or 4. Okay, you can have 3 or 4 of them. Okay, so make sure that all of them have a corresponding stage props. Okay, so stage props. All right. So what happens is, no, let's say you want good looking. Good looking will only have one stage prop. So I don't. So what happens? One stage props can have one or two or more how to achieve this goal. Okay, but each of the how to achieve this goal points will only be relating to one stage props. Okay, so I don't want them to choose. All right, so what is going to happen is, depending on what they choose on how to achieve this goal and what is their goal, they are going to get one figurine that they can design and one stage props that they can design. Okay, so afterwards, okay, so the next point is going to be um so after that, so what is going to happen is, okay, so then the teacher is going to ask, so once they get all the things, then the teacher is going to ask them to form a band. Okay, so the band must have at least three different groups of so they can form in so they're going to form a band, so they can go and look for other friends. Okay, so they can go and look for other friends to form a band. Okay, but each of the band, they are going to, it has to be have at least three different roles. Okay, so like for example, good looking is going to be the very cool performing artist. The influencer is going to have be the singer, right? So you have one singer, one performing artist. So you can have one fame, one money, one happy to do what you are, one is very good at what you're doing. So each of them you can have one, or maybe you can have two the same, but the other two is going to be different. Okay, so you can have form of group of 4 or 5, and each of the 4 or 5 you must have at least 3 different sets. Okay, then this is to get them to group together. Okay, so Faith, so the first one is to write down the questionnaire. So they will write down the questionnaire, and then the teacher will say, okay, those who choose fame, come and collect your thing. So those who choose to influence, come and collect your thing. So those who circle this, okay, come and collect your things. Those who circle that, come and collect your things, okay, or something like that. Or what happens is we are going to okay, or what happens is we can lay them out, okay, so that it can be faster. Okay, so what happens is those who choose so maybe we can have all the stage props. So you have we are going to cut it out for them and lay it on the table, and we have big labels. Okay, like if you're going to choose this, you will take this. You choose this, you're going to take this. You're going to choose this, you're going to take this. Okay, now if you choose fame, okay, you are going to get this. Okay, so this must be big. Okay, Emma and Faith. If you're going to choose this, you are going to if you're going to choose fame, you'll collect this. Okay, if you're going to choose that, you collect this. Okay, so we have one male and female as well. Okay, so we have to label it clearly. Okay, these are all print out. So we're going to print for them, and they are going to label it correctly. So it will be fast for them. So Faith, you have to write down all these. Okay, you have to explain why we are doing this so that it can be fast for them. Okay, good. So we are okay, so after they write down the form, they are going to collect the things. Then after that, the teacher will ask them to to group together. Okay, so they must, in their team, they must have only they can have they want to have at least 3 different uh, maybe we can call this career, or 3 different types of people. Okay, so afterwards, okay, so they have collected already. Okay, so of course remember that they need to write down their goals on the figurine as well somewhere. Okay, so after that, what is going to happen is the teacher is going to distribute like a um, poster. Okay, no, this is A4, or it can be A3 actually. Okay, A4 or A3 is okay. Okay, I think A4 or A3 is okay. Maybe let's make it no, I don't think they have the time. Okay, just make it A4. Okay, because they don't have time to color it. Okay, so what happens is right in the middle is a image of the stage. So what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to put their 4 figurines anywhere on the poster. So this A4 is actually like a poster, okay, or something like marketing. Okay, marketing. Okay, marketing. Okay, so they are going to have their marketing. So what is going to happen? So they have to paste their figurine on this poster. Okay, and also not just the figurine. Okay, so they have to put the figurine and also stage props. Okay, they can put it anywhere. They can be creative as well. Okay, they can redesign everything. You know, like for example, maybe microphone's supposed to be here. They can have them holding on to the microphone. They can be creative with it. So maybe one of them is going to be the musical instruments. So they can be creative with it. They can cut all the instruments and decorate it. Okay, be as creative as they want. So since this is a marketing poster, you know, they have to write down the marketing words inside. Okay, so it depends on what they want to do. Okay, so they can do anything that they want. Okay, so after that, they have to think, or they are given 10 seconds. Okay, so afterwards, after they have done, so what they are doing, okay, so the teacher is going to say that they are given 20 seconds or 30 seconds, about 10 seconds, 20 seconds to do a short um performance. Say, let's say the TV give them the television channel give them an opportunity, or they have 30 seconds to do their performance. Okay, to do their performance, so that they have to present to the class later. Okay, so next they are going to um when they have 30 seconds performance to do. Okay, so they have 30 seconds performance on what they are. Okay, so they can do any performance that they want. Okay, so what this means and why are we doing this? So how is it relating to racial harmony? Okay, so basically, okay, so what is so Faith, you got to write this clearly, right? Okay, so one important question, okay, okay, so you have um okay, so you want to write down how, okay, so they have their goals. Okay, so the questions are in the question F, Faith. Okay, so it's going to have um okay, so they will have their goals. Okay, how they are going to reach their goals. Okay, so they are okay, so this is written down. um um okay, next, how are they going to make use of this performance to actually reach their goal? Okay, so this is another of their question. Okay, how do they make use of this performance to achieve their goal? Okay, they will just write down on their own. Okay, ways of life, stage setup. Okay, um okay, so what happens is, okay, so in our culture, so after that, okay, so Faith, you want them to write down, okay, just have a few lines, okay, where, okay, okay, this question is very important. What in their life so far, that what they think in their lives, what they think. So Faith, you are needing to guide the teacher on what they do. So you want to write down very clearly, okay? Like, so the first thing is teacher is going to say, okay, so now let's just say you can become a very, very, very good entertainer. Okay, very famous, very good entertainer. So first of all, I want you to think of so if you are very good in entertainer, okay, such as blah blah blah, what you want to make use of this entertainment be. Okay, then yeah, so you have to write down clearly on what the teachers need to say. Okay, because these are just normal school teachers. All right, so So what they think in their life so far that makes them wants to achieve this. Okay, so that makes them want to achieve it. What they think in their life so far that makes them want to achieve this. So they want to achieve this influence and how they are influenced. Okay, want to achieve this and how they want to achieve and what they and why they think they are good entertainer themselves can achieve this. Okay, so I want them all to link up in a point in their past that they think is able to help them achieve this. Okay, so Faith, I think you might want to write down some answers over here so to help the teachers. If the children's students don't know what to write, they can write down. So basically, is want to links in their past. So what I want to show, okay, Faith, very important. You must explain this to teachers as well. So why are they doing this? So I want them to show that everything that they choose is actually you are able to link up in something from your past, from how you grow up, what is influencing you to make you want to achieve this. Okay, so maybe you could see you could be very influenced by one of the shows about natural disaster that makes you want to influence the world. Okay, or maybe you are grown up something always dream of being famous, so that's why you want to be famous. So there must be something in their past that makes them do all the decision. So all the choice that they make so far, okay, I want them to link. So think of a way, Faith, to make sure that they are able to link to something in the past that makes them choose all this point. Okay, so why are we doing this? So how is this going to be racial harmony? So we want to share that what different cultures do. Okay, so like for example, Muslims and Christians. Okay, so I think what maybe Faith and Emna is more more used to, okay, is maybe on the religious. Okay, so this is also based on something like culture. So what is the meaning of culture? Okay, so this culture actually shapes their belief. Okay, so I'm not so sure about other countries. Like in Singapore, the Muslim tends to be a bit more, Singapore and Malaysia, okay, these days, they tend to be a lot more conservative. Okay, so like for ladies, so yeah, the time I did talk to Anna about this. So it's like in Malaysia and Singapore actually, it's like in Pakistan I still don't feel that it's so, but in the Malaysia and Singapore they are starting to become a lot more conservative. So it used to be like 20 years ago they don't wear the hijab. So like nowadays a lot more people are actually wearing the hijab, okay, the headscarf as a Muslim. So yeah, actually they do a study that Singaporeans, Malay, like Christians, many people don't go to church much. Okay, but for Malays, more and more people are become more religious. So, so can we really say that, hey, what you are doing is wrong? So we can't really say what you are doing is wrong. Because why these people choose to do this, like, why Muslims are wearing the hijab, or why Chinese, they tend to be a lot more louder. They tend to be, they like to be very, like, wow, you like visiting, they like to make a lot of noise. So this is Chinese. So like Filipinos, I find that they are a lot more open, a lot more friendly than Singaporeans. And then Filipinos, they are, they like to sing, they are very, very warm, very welcome. So so it's like, let's say someone looking at Filipinos for the first time, they will have the mindset, hey, wow, this is so much friendly. So they can have two different mindsets. They could be very negative about it, or they can be very positive about it. Like they can feel that, hey, this is a good thing, or they can feel that, hey, this is so unnatural. Like I don't know you and you are so friendly with me, you're singing with me, that kind of thing. Oh, it's so awkward, right? So the first time you meet someone, so you might have this kind of negative thoughts. But is it something wrong It's not something wrong because this is their culture. So everything someone do is because of someone culture. And in order for us to have racial harmony, is what we're trying to emphasize is that you want to understand each other. Okay, so the performance is about understanding each other as well. Okay, so this one, Faith, you have to write down very clearly. Okay, so yeah, so Faith, this one you can write in your own style. Okay, so your usual style, which is very good. So but these are for more intellectual people. I think you can write down your own style, but just try to be a little bit more detailed. Okay, so you want to explain to them, so to show that whatever, just like what you do, what you want to achieve, what you want to become, is also influenced by your past. So what a culture, what a race, what a religions want to, how they react, how they behave, is also based on something known as culture. Okay, so culture, like okay, so like for example, why you want to achieve this goal. Definitely, there's some point in your life makes you, what who you are makes you want to achieve something with your entertainment, as you as a very good, very well known and respectable entertainer. Okay, so making you want to achieve one of these things. So someone want to achieve something else. So you cannot say that that person is wrong. So like for example, someone wants to be very, very rich because of it. You can't say it's wrong because this is how they are being brought up. Okay, so this will, it's just like for this, right? Okay, so like what they want to achieve their goals is just like in a culture, um how they actually behave. Okay, so let me write this down. Goals, how they will behave. Okay, so the goals that they choose is just like how they want to behave. Okay, so how they want to reach their goals. Okay, so through this questionnaire, how they want to reach their goals. Okay, this actually shows how a person will take their action to reach their goal. Okay, in a culture sense, okay, the culture actually reference what actions they will perform in different situation. So Faith, over here, very important as well. You want to write down examples so that the teachers will know how to explain things. Okay, so like for example, action. So like for example, when you have guests, how you want to achieve. So like you can say Filipinos, you're a lot more friendly, open, how this culture actually do. So you can actually give some examples. Okay, so and then for example, so certain country can be a lot more reserved. Okay, so so maybe Western. Oh yeah, this is something very good. Western, they like to hug each other. They like to even giving French kiss, something like that. But for Singapore Malays, they are a lot more conservative. Okay, whereby you may not want to come into physical contact with Malay. So this is very important. You see, actions. So why do you have these actions? Okay, how will you reach the goals? It's because of your past. So how different race um do the actions in certain situation, like when you have guests, it's all because of their culture as well. So this is something that you need to link up. Okay, so so why are they having different stage setup? Okay, so like this one is how they want to achieve uh this goal. Okay, so basically I want to explain that this is actually the ways of life. Okay, this is actually the ways of life, different ways of life. So it's like okay, so for example, some culture could be a lot more hardworking, very performance or objective oriented. Okay, so I'm talking about Chinese. So many countries hated Chinese because, or Jews actually. So because they are very performance oriented. Like Chinese, you would have heard that they are very, very keen on their studies. So they will send them for a lot of classes, a lot of courses so that they can do well in their studies. Okay, so this is something like wave of life. Okay, so the stage props actually represents the way of life. Okay, okay, so this stage props actually represents the ways of life. So now, like what they have. Okay, and then so the last one is interpretation. Okay, how they will make use of this, how they think that their 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 role as a popular and famous entertainer is going to help them in achieving their goals. So remember, this is something that you're supposed to write down, right, Faith? Okay, so this one, okay, so this is actually represented in the marketing plan. Okay, so what happens is, okay, how they assume that this is going to um how they assume that this is going to help them in achieving their goals. Okay, so why they do the poster? This is actually the marketing plan. Okay, it's interpreting of how their performance is going to be. Okay, to help them achieve their target. Okay, so what happens is, okay, now how this why this activity works. So in fact, I've already presented this activity to the people at Kindness SG, and they like this idea. Okay, so why this work is we want to show. Okay, so this is important. Oh, very thirsty. And coughing as well. Okay, so what we want to do? Okay, so we want to show that just like how all the actions, interpretations, and ways of life and goals that you have is all based on something. So for a culture's ways of life, or a culture on how they interpret a certain situation, for a culture on how they want to take action on any situation is all because of culture. Okay, so for us, okay, so it's our past that shapes us. Okay, so all the things we want to achieve is because of our past and how we grow up. Okay, how each race, okay, do the same thing. Okay, how they react, how they behave, in how they perform in their everyday way of life is all because of their culture. Okay, so we want to link these two up together. Okay, so okay, so what happens is, okay, so now you have four different people, four different people with different goals, different objectives, different ways of life that you are forced to put into a band. Okay, so Faith, you can actually make a story. So something like, the teacher is going to say, hey, now let's say you have one of the records company actually wants to sign you up. Okay, but because of limited budget, you have to form a band with three other people. So now form your band. Okay, with three or four other people. So now go ahead and go and form your band. Okay, your band must have different groups. Okay, something like that. Okay, so then they go and form the band. So now you can see, no, you have different groups of people. Okay, you have different groups of different types of people with different goals, different objective. Okay, but you are forced to put income together. And so you are supposed to, so now the marketing poster, you need to achieve your goals. This is very important. So that's why I ask everybody to write down their goals on the figurine. Okay, so it's very important that they are also able to, so this poster that they are going to do must be able to help them achieve their goal. Okay, so they cannot have a marketing plan. So they are going to design. They cannot just design like, what this is going to be. So for example, someone has a objective that they want to influence the world. So they want the world to love the animals. Okay, but the other one person wants to have fame. So this poster needs to have both. Okay, to be able to achieve the fame and also be able to influence the world. See, you see how they are going to go there. So what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when you are in together with different people with different thoughts, different background, okay, what you can still work together. by being flexible, by understanding each other. So you want to ask why they want to achieve this. Okay, so encourage them to ask, why you want to achieve this. So when they are actually making the poster, you want to make sure that they are asking each other why you want to achieve this, why you want to do this, why you want to this. Okay, so I want maybe they can go around a table to each person to share. Okay, why they want to achieve, what is their goals and what they want to achieve this. Okay, to share. And afterwards, everybody's goals, everybody objective has to be put inside this poster. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, you can have different goals, you can have different views, you can have different background, everything can be different, but you can still come together. Okay, you can still come together and achieve each other goal. Okay, so it's not, you cannot, should not be criticizing, because why each person wants to do certain things must be because of their past, how they are brought up, that cause them to have all these to make all these decisions. So you cannot say that they are do wrong, or you cannot ask them to change. But what you can do is all five of you or all four of you to come together to understand each other, so that you are able to integrate together to come out with a poster and also a performance. So Faith, the performance need to be able to achieve each goals as well. Okay, just tell them they need to achieve each goals. Okay, so after they have this poster and the performance, so each of the group is going to take turns to do this. Okay, say that we will need at least need 1 hour for this. Okay, so please try to write down the time. Okay, so everything is going to be fast. So they can decorate the person, they can decorate the stage prop, they can decorate the poster as well. Okay, then after that, they need to come out with the performance and they need to come out with the poster. Okay, so they need to come together. So after that, okay, so it is very important. Next is going to be the debrief. Okay, so on the how, so this debrief, right, it can be very, very interactive. Okay, so I think I better stop here. Okay, let me have some break first. Wow, so this is 40 minutes again. Okay, let me think of a little bit of how to do a debrief first. Okay, and then I'll get back to you. All right, thanks, Faith, and Anna as well.